So, Brett, we've done two or three of the classic aspects of marketing, and actually, it's probably fair to declare that our own sales and marketing process, or AIDA, awareness, interest, desire, action. So, where how you get a prospect from being a prospect to being a customer,
Yeah.
you make them aware of you.
Yeah.
You earn their interest, you earn their desire, and then you persuade them to act by making a purchase. Um, our own sales and marketing process, I think, starts with the next topic, which is networking.
Yeah, well, interestingly, we've talked about once you identify your target customer, then you can start to think about what do they read, but also where do they go. And a great way to meet them is possibly through networking, which I know has Glued, yourself and David have actually used that quite successfully. So maybe you could elaborate on maybe the different kind of business networking groups that are out there, because some people might find it, it must be a bit daunting, or where are they, how can I find them? So yeah, how would you explain what a networking group is and maybe some of the benefits that you've personally had from them?
Yes. So I remember hearing the term years ago and thinking, what in God's name is that about? Networking, business networking. But fundamentally, it's a group of business people coming together, usually with some like-minded topic to share, to talk about, to offer advice to each other, support to each other, maybe learn from each other, that sort of thing. That's in general terms what business networking is about. There are generic groups, like Federation of Small Businesses, like Chambers of Commerce, that will convene businesses on a very general basis, and they may also have the occasional specialist topic. So they may do webinars on stuff like this, social media advertising, on finance, accessing finance, and that sort of stuff. And they may also do some in-person networking. Sometimes, again, as I say, generic, trying to generate their own new business and get new members, or generic in terms of providing a service to their existing members and providing them with a forum to speak and share and learn and so forth. And then there are more specialist groups where perhaps it's an industry sector. So I know that in Leamington Spa there are groups from the digital gaming industry that gather on a networking basis.
Yeah.
That's an example of where the industry sector has driven the gathering. And then there may be some specialist groups that are around industry topics, so AI, productivity, sustainability, that sort of thing. And of course, one of the best places to look is Eventbrite. Do a search on Eventbrite.
Yeah.
Your geography, your topic, or your client's topic, or your client's sector.
Yeah.
That's a way of finding the sort of networking groups that may be of value to you and worth giving a try. Like with any marketing, one visit won't do it. You need to build relationships. You need to build a network, and that's about gaining the trust of the people so they know you, they like you, and they trust you. Then you've got the basis of a network and potentially sharing business.
So from your experience, ultimately, would you recommend networking?
Absolutely, it's a key part of our sales and marketing process. I can't remember the percentage off the top of my head, but a lot of our new business started with networking.
Yeah, and that's a great point you make there about it. It's not just going once. It's being committed to going, because I think typically they're every month, and you get to know other business owners in your area, and then hopefully once they know and like you, and they know a bit about your business. One final tool I wanted to bring up today was getting referrals. It's free, and the great thing about networking is once people get to know about you and your business, they will hopefully recommend you to any of their friends, family, business associates who they come across that's looking for your services, and will recommend you.
Yes.
because they say go and talk to Rob, go and talk to Glued. What a great guy! He'll help you. And I think it's one of the most underutilized tools that people forget to just, when you're dealing with maybe a current client or customer, is just to simply ask the question. Thanks for your business. By the way, would you know of anyone else who might be interested in using my
Yes.
products or services? And I know it's something we've talked about in the past
Yes.
a lot. And it's free just to ask. And the amazing thing is, most people don't do it.
No, and we're guilty of not doing it, and it's because I think we all feel it's going to come across as some sort of pushy sell, but you've just said it in a way that it's not a pushy sell.
No, it's not meant to be. It's about just having that front of mind of spreading your network, spreading your contacts.
And I think a good example of where it can be used in perhaps a rather more engineered way is often with these networking groups, you're invited to stand up and speak about your business, your offer, for 30 or 60 seconds or something like that. And you'll hear people say, oh, and if anybody knows of a business that's looking for the sorts of services I'm offering, please could you point them in my direction?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think we've covered perhaps some of the key tools that we wanted to just now. The final point I'd like to make is whatever you choose to do, whichever marketing activity you choose to do, please measure it. Please monitor the results, because the results won't be immediate, and not every route that you follow, every marketing tool you use may work best for you. But if you measure anything you do, and particularly over time, you will start to see, as no doubt you can testify, which have worked best for you as a business. And then it seems quite simple to say, but once you get that clearer picture, focus on what's working for you, put more effort into that, ditch the stuff that hasn't worked. So that would be my final piece of advice, is monitor and measure everything that you're doing.
Yeah, and by measuring it, you've got a track record of which ones are, like you say, delivering the results, and therefore you can dial up the activity on that.
Yeah.
And dial down on the ones that aren't necessarily delivering the same level of results.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, great.